Welcome back to an episode of The Bridge, and today we're going to be talking about Karl Jacobs and his Tales of the SMP. Alright, if you enjoy this video, make sure to like and subscribe. Also in the description, I got a Discord and a Twitter and a second channel. I'd recommend checking them all out. The second channel's pretty cool. I got like shorts and stuff. 10 out of 10. No bias here. Anyway, hope you enjoy the video. So the Tales of the SMP, they're written and directed by Karl. It's kind of like stories from the SMP's past and future. Pretty much it follows Ken and Karl as he time travels in the past and future and finds events that happened in the SMP. Also, everybody involved other than Karl usually plays a different character than the one they usually play on the SMP. You know, because it's in the past or the future. Anyway, we'll start with the tales themselves and then get more into Karl's character. So the first tale was called The Town That Never Was. Pretty much it followed a small settlement that they built in the wilderness in an hour, and it finished with Karl blowing it up. This one didn't really allude to much in the storyline other than L'Manberg's fall, because it was a town that Karl blew up, kind of self-explanatory. And that leads us into the second installment, which was called The Village That Went Mad. Now this one took place hundreds of years before the current events of the SMP. It was dubbed The Town of Salem on the Dream SMP, which I actually know a game called Town of Salem, but I haven't played it. I wonder if it's alluding to that at all. Anyway, the main plot of that was pretty much mafia. There was a detective, a doctor, and a killer, and yeah, they just played it out. Still not much actual canon connection to the main plot of the SMP. And then we get to the third episode, which was literally called the beach episode. It was literally a beach episode. The group went on a treasure hunt and found treasure. This was completely a beach episode. Now the fourth installment is where it starts connecting to the main plot of the SMP. The fourth installment was called The Lost City of Mizu. It kind of followed the four fishermen as they went and discovered this lost city that was apparently built by ancestors of Rambo. Now this one actually took place a few hundred years in the future, when the original SMP members had already passed away, because they didn't exist at this point. It pretty much just plays off of legends and stories that the SMP had now, that have been passed down from generations to generations since this is hundreds of years in the future. But this is the first time they confirmed that Karl is, yes, a time traveler, and that is his duty. And that brings us to the fifth and most recent tale, The Masquerade. Now, if you don't want to get spoiled of this one, I'd recommend, not watching this part of the video. I'll probably have a timestamp on the screen. But yeah, I'd recommend watching the VOD to this one. Technoblade was in it, and it was very funny, actually. Now, this one took place, several hundred years in the past. There were a lot of rich people that went to a mansion to gather up for a masquerade ball. Now, at this ball, the lights kept flickering off as, you could see, certain people go and, murder each other. And it was a different person each time. It was kind of like Among Us, but everybody was the imposter. It was kind of weird. Now, there's a plot twist when we find out that the murders are actually happening because of the egg. Yeah, the egg that's, currently in the plot. Apparently, this thing's existed for, hundreds of years, and it's been controlling people even back in, whatever time period this was, but it was still happening. The egg wanted to be fed for poor people, so it went around killing everybody at the ball. And this is when we find out for sure that Karl's actually a time traveler, because he tried to save Quackity, in an earlier stream, and this kind of connects back to that, because Karl knows. Karl knows that the egg is bad, because he saw it in this time in the past. It also reveals this thing called the In-Between Land, and this is where Karl goes, after all of his time travel missions now. And that finally leads us to the character of Karl himself. He has to document, everything that happens to him, and all of these missions that he gets, because he has no control over his time traveling. It just kind of happens, so he might as well write stuff down as it does. The thing is that time traveling actually causes memory loss for him and depersonalization the more times he does it. He thinks that his intention is to get time traveled is to fix things that happened in the past, but he never really gets around to doing this, and it kind of just harms him in the process. And finally, he has access to the In-Between Land. Books that were left there by an unknown author is telling him that he has to document these things, and that's why he's doing it. And it also said that there's eventually going to be a way for him to stop the deterioration of his memory, but he just has to keep, rolling with it for now. I guess we'll find out what that means later. Oh, he gave up. No, the level 13. Don't give up now, you have so much to live for. Please. Okay, let's wait for him to AFK. 3, 2... Oh, he moved. Oh, I moved. I'm gonna have to score on him now. No. Alright, so that was the story of the Tales of the SMP. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps me out. Also, I got a Discord in the description. Join if you want to discuss more about this, because I'm always in there. Alright, thanks for getting to the end. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!